Welcome to this explainer. Today, consider me your energetic study guide for a comprehensive educational review of IKS, that's Indian Knowledge Systems. We're going to dive deep into the vast scientific knowledge developed in the Indian subcontinent, taking a journey all the way from the Vedic period right through to the medieval era. We'll be touching on some seriously groundbreaking disciplines like astronomy, mathematics, medicine, metallurgy, chemistry, and even early environmental science. So to kick things off, I want you to ask yourself a question. Where did foundational concepts like binary code, complex plastic surgery, and superplastic steel actually originate? Now, you might picture modern laboratories or, 19th century European hospitals, but the surprising answer? It's the ancient Indian subcontinent. Okay, let's quickly check out our syllabus for today. We've got 5 parts: Foundations in Harappa, Mathematics and Cosmic Astronomy, Ayurveda and Surgical Mastery, the Marvels of Metallurgy, and finally, Connecting Ancient Wisdom to Our Modern World.
Section 1, Foundations, Harappa, and Holistic Science. Let's see exactly how this civilization built its knowledge from the ground up. For your IKS review, the absolute core takeaway here is that ancient Indian science didn't operate in a vacuum. It was incredibly empirical, relying on rigorous observation and logic. But, and this is key, it never separated the physical world from spirituality or nature. It's like a giant interconnected puzzle. All of this integrated knowledge was meticulously written down in Sanskrit texts known as Shastras, always keeping a firm emphasis on living sustainably with the environment. Now check out this specific ratio, 1 to 2 to 4. This wasn't just some random architectural quirk, no. It was a strict, highly standardized proportion for the mud and burnt bricks used across massive Harappan settlements. Just think about the sheer level of organization it would take to standardize building materials across such a massive geographic area in the 3rd millennium BC. And having that exact standardization, it was a real game changer. It allowed for some mind-blowing civil engineering feats. The Harappans literally gave us systematic, grid-patterned town planning, fortified citadels, and elaborate hydraulic drainage setups that honestly rival some modern systems. They even set up the first known workmen's quarters, which is an incredibly early nod to worker welfare. All of this was done using geometric tools they developed themselves, like plumb bobs and right angles. Moving right along to Section 2, Mathematics and Cosmic Astronomy. We're shifting gears from brick-and-mortar engineering to the abstract world of numbers and stars. Take Pingala's Meru Prastara from way back in the 3rd century BCE, for example. He set out to systematically generate syllable combinations for Sanskrit poetic meters. But when his method is mapped out visually, it creates the exact mathematical structure we now know as Pascal's triangle. Yep, invented centuries before Pascal was even born. Here's the wild part. While he was just classifying those poetic meters into light and heavy syllables, Pingala inadvertently laid down the literal foundations of binary arithmetic and algorithmic thinking. His 2-digit binary number system predated Gottfried Leibniz's system by almost 2 millennia. It's basically the bedrock of modern computing. And the math definitely didn't stop there. Brilliant ancient astronomers like Aryabhata utilized highly sophisticated algorithmic models, based on concepts akin to the Equan model, to accurately predict solar and lunar eclipses. They calculated planetary periods and, remarkably, even figured out that the Earth rotates on its own axis. All right, Section 3, Ayurveda and Surgical Mastery. Time to look inward at human health and the ancient science of life. To seamlessly bridge the gap for your exam, look at how the ancient physician Sushruta divided up surgical procedures. His Triveda Karma translates almost perfectly to modern medicine. You've got Purva Karma, which is preoperative care, like theater prep and diet, Pradhana Karma, the actual surgery, and Paschattharma, the post-operative care. That is a highly structured, modern-feeling protocol from thousands of years ago. Sushruta's surgical toolkit was honestly staggering. He is known as the father of surgery for a reason. I mean, we're talking about executing advanced procedures like cheek flap rhinoplasty for nose reconstruction, which is a technique still referenced today, and traditional cataract surgeries using sharp probes. He also mapped out 107 marmas, or vital anatomical points in the body, knowing exactly where a single surgical slip-up could be fatal. Section 4, The Marvels of Metallurgy. From human biology, we are transitioning right into material sciences and ancient alchemy. First thing you need to grasp here is where Shastra, Basically, this was an ancient chemical discipline deeply rooted in Ayurveda. Practitioners would manipulate the five physical elements to harness the rasa, or vital essence of various metals and minerals. Through some seriously meticulous purification, they transformed heavy metals into highly potent therapeutic elixirs meant to harmonize the body. But perhaps the absolute coolest metallurgical marvel is woot steel. Known locally down in South India as yuku, this was an ancient crucible steel packed with an incredibly high carbon content of 1 to 2%. Because it exhibited properties like unparalleled superplasticity and high-impact hardness, modern researchers actually classify it as an advanced supermaterial of the ancient world. This superplastic steel was a massive deal. It was exported globally to Europe, China, and the Arab world, mass-produced in tens of thousands of ingots by the 1600s. It was the exact core material used to forge those legendary, razor-sharp Damascus swords. It was so advanced, it completely baffled 19th century European scientists. It actually spurred modern metallographic studies by pioneers like Michael Faraday, who were desperately trying to reverse engineer this stuff. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, Ancient Wisdom, Modern World. Let's tie this whole shebang together. Okay, here is your ultimate IKS review cheat sheet. We've mapped out the iconic scholars and their world-altering contributions right here. You've got Aryabhata looking to the stars, Sushruta mastering the operating room, Pingala laying the mathematical groundwork for computing, Charaka establishing holistic medicine, and Brahmagupta revolutionizing math with the concept of zero. You might want to grab a screenshot of this. It's the perfect summary. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought. In our current era of intense scientific compartmentalization, where every discipline is kind of isolated in its own little silo, what might we still gain by revisiting this ancient, highly integrated approach to the universe? When you connect the mind, the body, and nature the exact way these early scholars did, what new or maybe very old discoveries might we unlock next? Think about it. Thanks for joining me to master this material today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.